temptation. Oh, plantation. 9 to 5 be the time I was wasting. Man, I feel like I need a vacation. Saving up for my resignation. Why I feel like my manager hating. Ain't the one for no verbal castration. This government ain't giving reparation. We'll go to crime trying to fight the temptation.
Rejoice in tribulations, demonstrate patience in every situation, picking up the pieces to their heart restoration. People broken hearted and in need of salvation. We in captivity, we done lost our history. Disconnected from his laws, now there's no integrity. Here's the book and let them see, because they dying in these streets. Walking in darkness and where the carcass is, the eagles be. Walking in darkness and where the carcass around us like vultures. Murder on their mind when they approach us. Let your light shine, watch them scatter like roaches. Babylon falling cause we taking back our culture. Heal our land, Abba now, put us back in agriculture. This word burning them up, Romans is a flamethrower. We prophesy destruction, nukes coming, game over. International, continental, ballistic missile. Them bombs dropping like rain, no drizzle. The lake of fire make them sizzle. Showing fruits of the spirit, we don't gather figs of thistles. That's the dog, you know, so just like you were saying.
Hey, my name is Amani Bright Laws. I'm a travel business owner. My business is Always Shine Bright Travel, where we help you discover your next bright destination. I want to talk to you really quickly today about becoming a travel business owner. Listen, if your passion is traveling, if your passion is exploring the world, if your passion is wanting to travel and explore the world, then you should become a travel business owner, okay? I have 2 easy ways to get started. Less than 1 minute, okay? The first way, up here, our website, travelagentworkshop.com. And please use my sponsor ID, Always Shine Bright, okay? The second way is a text code. Text the word workshop to the number 281-767-9711. And again, reference my sponsor ID, Always Shine Bright, okay? Listen. The workshop is free. It's a free 3-day workshop, which gives you all the information on how to get started to become a travel business owner. Okay. Any questions that you have will get answered within that workshop. Okay. So let me meet you on the money making side of travel, where you can turn your passion into your paycheck.
Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy Chef D-Nail. Over here, guess who's cooking? Good cooking, good eating, good living. Y'all know how we do it every Sunday about this time, man. We're going to get straight to it. We got the chicken and dumplings, all right? We got the perch fish with the mac and cheese, with the yams, with the 5 cheese toast over here on the Texas side. And, of course, we got the world-famous turkey tips, all right? We also got, on this one, we got the greens with the turkey tails, and we got the spaghetti. You already know what time it is, man. Hit the link, 773-992-4737 is the phone number to place your order every Sunday, all right? And you can hit us up on the Cash App to make payments at Guess Who's Cooking, the number 2, all right? You can hit the www.guesswho'scooking on the World Wide Web. You can catch us on Facebook Marketplace under Guess Who's Cooking, and of course on TikTok, man, at Guess Who's Cooking. Come on down, get your orders.
Give me shame, I give you peace from underneath. Give me mind and be a light to reignite. Can you open up the doors to let me in? Can you open up the doors to let me in? You could put the hurt inside, don't top my head. As I sing the love inside from out my mouth. Tell me what you need to find. Tell me now. Tell me what you need to find.
Yeah. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shabarakatah. Kwam Yasharala. Praises. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High God, Yahweh. In the New York heat, like a lost sheep, culture like Fishdale, cause I move fish scales. Never could tell, cause I lack intel. Only had smiles when I moved at the resale. Now I'm in jail, hurt, but you couldn't tell. Hardcore D-steps when I'm in sales. Frustrated when I looked, there was no mail. Got stomped by the cops till my face swell. My soul cried to the God, but I couldn't yell. Even Mike stood close while I'm in pain. DMX said, y'all can't stop the rain. To my home with his brass and iron bars. Didn't know that's a curse placed by y'all. Why did God put these curses upon me? Deuteronomy 28 and 23. And explains the whole plot of the shit be. Now I'm free from the brass and the bars. Just to walk the earth with the motion, the scars. That killing that I got it from the book that was God's. Every last word touched the soul and the heart. Moses raised the staff and the oceans apart. Stepped at the gates of God took apart. I've been through the traps so the devil has survived. And we all know that the devil is alive. God is the truth. The devil is alive. Since our youth, man, we all know the devil is alive. History books. The devil is alive. The Bible is the truth. Man, we all know the devil is alive. The devil is alive. Yahweh is the truth. The devil is alive. Revelation 12 and 9 is the proof. The devil is alive. Yahweh is the truth. The devil is alive. Revelation 12 and 9 is the proof. God is the truth. The devil is alive. Since our youth, man, we all know the devil is alive. History books. The devil is alive. The Bible is the truth. Man, we all know the devil is alive.
I call names out, blow brains out. Till they dangling and hanging out. They mangle mouth, then I bang them out. Strangle them when the chain is out. Cut the throat, let the blood drain out. Sell your soul, get a shell in your nose. Then I'm sending you to hell with your melon blown. Bust chrome, big hole in your snow cone. Crush bones like Mad Max in the Thunderdome. Remote control, government drones. Hovering above your home, robot dogs and human clones. Gas mask on my face out the safe zone. Earthquake make the ground break and shake stone. Case closed, I can't wait to slay foes like Conan the Barbarian with Grace Jones. Revelation 1 and 8 with the faith of Job. Escaping Rome to make it home in the ancient robe. Gold bracelet and I made it known. After 3 days I rose with my name engraved in the throne. Shalom. 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 Shalom.
God is the truth. The devil is alive. Since our
Shalom, shalom. Shalom, Mark. Shalom.
Shalom, King.
Shalom, Mark. Y'all, Hashem, y'all, brother. You good?
Good, I'm good.
Kind.
Thursday night class.
Kind. If you have a precept or anything while you want to add, feel free.
Okay, kind.
Shalom, Israel. Today class, I wanted to say the man in the mirror. Sometimes in Israel, I think we don't look into ourselves a lot. We always looking to, our fellow Israelites, fellow whoever could be the 2/3 or the other nations. And a lot of times I think we fail to realize it's not the other nations. It is about the sheep we bring in, but it all starts off with us. We can eliminate Esau or Ishmael, but that don't matter. We're not getting to the kingdom till we do right, till we follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. So that's the part, man or woman, we got to start looking inside ourselves. That's the first part of correction, is self. I always say this things like, right? If I got a house and my neighbor got a house, but my neighbor grass is high and my grass is high, can I really tell him to cut his grass if my grass is not cut? How is he going to look at me? Like, how you going to tell me to cut my grass and yours ain't cut? It starts with self. That they have these sayings, self-improvement, self-help. It all starts with self. This is the whole thing. We got to look into ourselves. It starts from inside out. Okay, I want to start off with Romans 15:4.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
Kai, you back. You dropped off for a minute. There you go. One more time.
Did I come in? Did you hear me?
No, you got cut off for a minute. One more time.
Okay, give me. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. Let me see.
I think maybe when he put the screen up, you got pushed off for a second.
Can you hear me, King?
I get you now.
Okay, come. This is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
We're gonna go in these scriptures today. And it says what was written above time was written for us in this time. We're going to go delve back in these scriptures. A lot of these scriptures are going to tell us about self-improvement, self-help, how we can better ourselves. And when you better yourself, your neighbor, you help your partner, you help your brother, you help your sister. Like I say, it starts from the inside out. And that's what we're going to delve into, the inside out, correcting ourselves. Because as we know, when the Most High comes, every man must prove himself. It's your work, what you do. It's not what the next man does. It's not what the enemy does. It's what you do to get you into that kingdom. Next scripture I want 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 5.
Done. 2 Corinthians 13, verse 5.
Con.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates.
Con. These are Paul's words. How you know most Christians love Paul? First thing he said, examine yourself. Before you correct anybody, before you say this ain't right, you got to examine yourself. Am I doing what's right? Am I doing what's right? Am I walking correctly in this walk? He said, examine yourselves. And what else he went on to say? Prove your own self. You know what I mean? It's what's the scripture that says that the path to the kingdom is narrow. Only one person get through at a time. If you don't get through, you can't help somebody else to get through. That's what this is about. You have to clean your own house. Like I say, it starts inside out. Because if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, how can you help someone else? How can you help your brother? If you ain't walking that right path, if your brother comes to you and you ain't correct, how you gonna help your brother out? You got to look at yourself. One more time, I'll say, and this start what it says. What does the first thing it say?
Con, the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves.
Con. It's telling you right off the rip, examine yourselves. You got to correct yourself first. When you correct yourself, your whole household gonna start looking at it that way. They're gonna start looking at you. Okay, well, he this is what he mean. He mean business. He following this path. He holding fast. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 11, and let's go to 31 and stop at 33.
Con, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 31 through 33.
Con.
For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged.
Well, hold on. What does that say again? One more time.
For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged.
Con. We judge ourselves. We can't be, because if you judging yourself correctly, you're going to judge everybody else correctly. If you walk in the right way, everybody else going to see you walking the right way and going to walk that right way. Finish it out.
Con, verse 32. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. Wherefore, my brethren, when ye come together to eat, tarry one for another.
There you go. That one for another. Come together. One for another. One is the first one. One is the one starting off. You that one. You stole that exception. You that one. You walking the right way. It's yourself. Clean yourself up. Like I always say, if I'm an alcoholic, can I actually tell somebody stop drinking and I'm still drinking? That don't make any sense. I got to start getting myself right. And then everybody else going to start looking like, man, if he did it, I can do that. If he did it, it ain't that hard. And that goes with anything. Working out, getting yourself in shape. People see that. People see yourself first. They look at you first and then go, okay, he doing that. Maybe I should blase speak. Maybe I should start going that way. That's how this thing starts. Let's go to Matthew 7:3.
All right. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 3. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thy own eye?
How you go to say what your brother's doing wrong, but you doing wrong? It say how you correct what's in your brother's eye, but you ain't looking at what's in your own eye. Self. looking at it in the mirror. And a lot of times, you know, in the truth, out of the truth, we judge people before we even looking at ourselves. We down people, not even looking at ourselves. Why he doing this? He ain't doing this. He ain't showing up for here. Sometimes we say people ain't showing up, and don't be showing up ourselves. This person ain't doing this to help out the camp. But we don't know completely what is he doing. Just because you don't see it, that don't mean he ain't helping.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of that. A lot of that, like the elder said a couple of weeks back on the Saturday, we got other people at this camp doing this. You don't know what every camp is doing in this camp. You got to start working on self first. That be a lot of our problems. We on the outside. We got to worry about what's going on here, what's going over there. Let's start with self first. Let's clean this up first. Inside out. That's how everything is built. Inside out. Start at that foundation. That foundation is you. You got to look in that mirror. You know, that they got a saying out here. When you point the finger, there's 3 other fingers pointed back at you. We got to start looking at these things, Israel. We got to start building ourselves. That's how our family is built, with one throughout, passing it. You know what I mean? Let's go to Galatians 6, and we're going to go 1 all the way to 2.
Galatians 6, verses 1 through 2, you said?
Con.
Okay. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verses 1 through 2.
Con.
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Stop right there. That's one of the things I want. Consider thyself. This is what Paul telling you. Consider yourself. You know what I'm saying? One in the spirit of meekness can also be tempted. Yourself. Look at yourself first. Through the spirit. You might have to restore your spirit when you think you're doing something wrong. When you actually doing wrong. It's the self. That self-improvement. You got to look at yourself. Go ahead, finish that out. I like 3 too. When I looked at 3, my fault. I'll go finish 3 out too.
Verse 2: bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ.
It's going. We got another scripture how it says right there, brother to brother, but it's also sister to sister. You feel your brother's burden. That's still part of self, because sometimes his burden is your burden also. That's that part of being self, looking in that mirror. We all are one. Your brother's burden sometimes can be your burden. When your brother feeling down, sometimes don't that make you feel down? What's the matter with my brother? He ain't the self. You know what they say sometimes when somebody walk in the room and they gloomy, don't that bring you down too? When they come in and they all sad, that brings you down too. It's that part about self. Self. I like 3 out.
Verse 3: for if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself.
God, that's right there in your mind. They say when you think you something when he is nothing, sometimes you deceive yourself. And it also works in reverse. Sometimes if you think you are something, you can put that in your mind. You know what I mean? I'm able to do this. I'm able to go out here and teach. I'm able to stand strong at this corner. I'm able to watch my brother's back. Self. This whole thing starts with self. Looking at yourself. Being honest with yourself. Honestly, that's what you sometimes we ain't honest with ourselves. That's why I say look at that man in the mirror. When you facing yourself. A lot of times, some of us, we can't look at ourselves in the mirror. A lot of us, we ain't happy with ourselves. And that's where the problem starts. You got to be happy with yourself. That's why I read Romans. Get back into these scriptures. Cleanse yourself. Become a whole new beast. A whole new person. Get rid of that old man. But it starts with you. Let's go to Jeremiah 17:9 all the way to 10.
Jeremiah chapter 17.
Con.
And Salakia.
Go ahead.
One of them's Galatians. Israel, you guys got to pay attention because you know these letters of Paul, they to different cities and places, right? So some of the stuff that guys do out in the West Coast, they may not do in the Midwest, and stuff that they're doing in the Midwest, they're not doing in the South, and stuff they're doing in the South, they're not doing in what we would call the East Coast, and then they're not doing it in the DMV, or they're not doing it in Vermont. So some of these, sometimes when you know we coming out with these scriptures, sometimes I'm it don't affect me. Well, you don't know. You may have a cousin that live in Memphis, or you may have a relative that live in Cali. Because you know, Crips and Bloods. I'm from Philly, so I mean, they got them in Jersey. We don't have none of that stuff. We had gangs, but like you know, if you know anything about the West Coast stuff, they breed that. You know, when the baby born, hey, he a cuz. You know, they all up on it. I live there, so you know, it's just a So when we read these scriptures, you know, when the brother's breaking them down, if it's not hitting you, it's for one of your other brothers. That's all I got.
No, that's a good point. Even like you say, if it doesn't pertain to you, you still may need it or use it because you can help somebody out with that same point. You know what I'm saying? So you made a valuable point. You know what I'm saying? Even though it may not pertain to you, you can use that to help somebody out. You know what I'm saying? Good point,
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
What man could know the heart? You know what I mean? Sometimes when we say the heart is talking about your mind. And some of us, that mind has wicked things going in it. Wicked things gonna come out of it. But that's what we say when you look in that mirror. You know what I mean? Do I have wicked thoughts to my brother? Do I have wicked thoughts towards my sister? Do I have wicked thoughts towards the camp? Or Israel, period? Because something may not go your way. You got to take that deep look into yourself. You know what I mean? Those thoughts. And believe me, Israel, a lot of us be having some wicked thoughts in our mind. We do a lot of wicked things to each other. But it's that person in the mirror, not just the man person. Sometimes, ladies, you got to look at yourself too. Who she thinks she is. She trying to dictate this whole class, this sister thing. I was here first. Got to look in the mirror. It ain't about who was here first. We got to remember this all of the Lord. This is thing. Looking in that mirror, seeing who you are. Go ahead, finish 10 out.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 10. I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
According to his ways and his doings. Your ways, your doings. He looking at it when you do evil. He looking at it when you do good. He judging you by according to your ways. Not how your brother acting over there. Like I was saying, not how the brother acting on the West Coast and you on the East. He judging you on how you act. What you do. What are you doing to help out? You sitting silent? Like my brother said, oh, that ain't me. It don't pertain to me. That's selfishness. You ain't looking in the mirror. That ain't supposed to be for us, Israel. We supposed to be a family. I say, am I my brother's keeper? You know what I mean? He judging you on your action. That's how we got to see things. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes not doing nothing, that's still action. You ain't helping. Oh, okay. My brother need a ride. I'm going to turn the other way. I'm going to act like I ain't here. Look it in the mirror. That's that selfishness. You know what I mean? So that's why I say we got to look amongst ourselves. If we want to get out of here, we got to clean ourselves up. That's where the whole thing starts. If we really want to get out of here, we got to clean ourselves up. It starts with us, and then we're going to be able to push out. And then this whole thing going to come falling out. Faster than when they say this. Once we all, just imagine if we all was walking out right path. This place would collapse with the quickness. With the quickness.
Bring that out.
Let's go to, let's get this Job 33 and 14. We're going to go all the way to 16.
Okay. You said Job 34?
33, my fault.
33 and 16?
14 to 16.
Okay, come. This is the book of Job, chapter 33, verse 14 to 16. For God speaketh once, ye twice, yet man perceiveth it not.
God, sometimes the Most High speak to us, and we, as I said, we don't listen. It just, he perceive it not. Sometimes we get signs, all that. That's not no sign. You know, sometimes some of us, when we get that second chance, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's something that happened to somebody else that could be a sign to you for you to clean your act up. You know what I mean? Somebody got a car in a car accident, for example, and you've been speeding this whole time. That's a sign to you. Let me slow myself down. Let me look at that. This person ain't take this for granted. This is the same thing I've been doing. Let me look at myself now. That's that sign. Finish it out.
Khan. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumbers upon the bed, then he opened the ears of men and sealeth their instruction.
Khan. Sometimes we say it all the time. Them dreams is the Most High giving you a hint. Starting with you. Look at that man in the mirror. You know, even sometimes you may have to go to an elderman and ask, hey, I had a dream, this, and this happened. Tell me, what does that mean? What you think about that? You know, sometimes we take as a dream like, oh, it didn't mean nothing. It had to mean something. It came to you. Well, in the scriptures, a lot of the prophets got the Lord's word through dreams. Got to look in the self. We can't blow these things off, especially in these times. These signs coming, and you don't want to ignore a sign that's meant for you, because that sign could pass you up and go to somebody else. That's the last thing we want to do, is miss them signs that's for you. Even if you get a dream and you might have to go back right to these scriptures. Let me look these things up and see what that means. Let me see how it pertains to me. Maybe that's the Most High telling me how I can correct myself, how I can do something better. How can I be a better brother or a better sister to the congregation, or a better brother sister to my people in general? This is that self thing. Let's go to Deuteronomy 8 and 6.
Deuteronomy 8 and 6.
God.
And Deuteronomy 8 and 6. Can I land me back on something?
Yo, go ahead. Shoot. I told you, that's more than welcome,
Con. So the brother also, Israel, these dreams are not your way to hit the lottery, okay? Because when I was a kid, my mom had a dream book. So we ain't telling you to go get the damn dream book and go get them numbers and go play the big three and whatever, all that stuff. That's not what the brother's saying. So don't go get the dream book and try to hit the lottery. And secondly, what the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. This guy, he always coming up with stuff. Like, for instance, you know, he say that we have melanin, but there's no such thing as melanin. It's carbon, which makes our skin darker or things darker, right? So the same thing with deja vu. Deja vu is the damn instructions that the Lord is putting in your head. So when you be like, oh man, that's deja vu. No, Those were instructions. That's what the brother's talking about. So when you at the mall, you're like, damn, I just feel like somebody about to run in here and shoot. Get out the mall. That was the Most High coming to you. So that's what deja vu is. All right. When people are like, oh, that's deja, they made a whole movie about it. Not knowing that the Israelites is going to come up here and start preaching this stuff. So now, not everything deja vu. I don't be in the club like, hold up, I think I know that. No, we ain't talking about all that. But what we're saying is the deja vu. That's a very, very important scripture, guys. That Joel 1, when he's talking about giving you instructions in your sleep, sometimes it comes right to you, and it can stop, or it's a warning for you. Okay, and I yield.
Bro, good point. Good point.
So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 6. Therefore, thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways and to fear him.
Like the brother was saying, when the Most High give you a thought, like he was saying, something gonna happen in the mall. That's that fear. Get out of there. Keep those commandments and fear him. A lot of times, even I'm gonna say myself, sometimes we don't fear the Most High like that. He could take you out just like that. It was the great. Don't fear the man that can take the body. Fear the man that can kill the soul. He can kill your soul.
That part.
Sometimes we take it because we may get away with something that the Most High ain't gonna judge you. He does things at his own will. Something can happen to you 2 years down the line. It don't have to happen right then and there. This him directing this whole thing. He may want you to do one other thing before he takes you out. It may be that chance he giving you, okay, I'm giving him a few more shots to get this right. We can't take these things for granted. Walk in his ways, it said. That's yourself. You got to walk in his ways. That's that looking in the mirror. You got to look in the mirror. Am I doing everything the Most High want me to do? Am I slacking a little bit? Do I fear him enough to do those things? That's why I put that last, to fear him. Let's go to we're gonna run two self videos out. We're gonna do two videos right now. And then when we come back, let's jump to Matthew 22 and 37.
Matthew 22 and 37.
And we're gonna go all the way to 46.
Okay. You said 22, chapter 22, verses 27 to 40?
37 to 46.
Okay.
Out of par, you hear me? You can run two videos right now. I don't know. We ain't getting no sound.
Yeah, you gotta turn it up.
This mental factory every day and coming out with a rich, dynamic, positive life. It can't be just dumb. The mind is like a fountain, pours ingredients into this mental factory every day and coming out with a rich, dynamic, positive life. It can't be done. You decide what goes into your mental factory. Don't let anybody just...
Kind of. I just go to that second one. See if that one.
Anything they want to in your mental factory.
Yeah, this StreamYard. I had to, like I said, that's why I you got to reboot your routers and modem before you come up on here. This thing takes a lot of bandwidth.
Con.
It'll play. Did you minimize it? See if you can minimize it. It might play then.
Con. What he basically has said, like it's saying, look at the man in the mirror. It was a professor who said this: the mind is like fertile soil. It doesn't matter what you plant in your mind, good or bad. You could plant nightshade, or you could plant flowers. But if you plant that nightshade, your mind still the soil is still gonna make it come up because you feeding it that. But if you feeding it fruits and vegetables, plants that, it's still gonna come up. Whatever you plant in your mind or put in your mind, if you looking at if you're looking at these slasher movies all the time, you plant that rotten seed in your mind. But if you in these scriptures all the time, those things are going to be planted in your mind. I can't think of the professor who said something like that. But play that second one. Maybe that second one to play.
What can a no fee, no minimum Capital One? What can a no fee, no minimum Capital One 360 checking account do for you?
Capital One Bank?
A lot. Bank and sip at any Capital One cafe. That's the stuff. Try a no fee, no minimum 360 checking account from Capital One.
Oh, maybe I messed up and sent you something wrong. Huh?
Did you so when you sent them in the order of how you want them played?
It kind.
All right, I'll play the second one. Let me put it on my thing real quick.
Yeah, maybe I messed up myself.
No, it happens.
Con.
Give me a second. Is it the one that says habits that will change your life?
I'm
looking. So you sent it. It's down. Is it the last one?
Yes, it's that one. It's the habits. The habit.
Okay. Con.
Yep.
All right. Give me a
second. Nobody talking. It's just the words up there.
Okay.
Con. The water up.
Hey, anytime. I got the bar. All right. Give me a second. Let me turn my camera off real quick.
Go ahead, I'll take your time.
Yeah, because I had to root. My thing was like, it was skipping. It was like a scratched CD. I was like, oh, no. Let me go ahead and reboot everything.
Come.
All right, it's coming. Give me a second. These things take so long sometimes.
That's all right, Doc.
Yeah, I got Outlook. Outlook be taking forever.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
That's what took me a minute to get on. I had to take some time and do all that. So yeah, it took a minute.
Yep.
And then I'm a ways away from my modem too, so that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they got this thing called the Eero. An Eero, you want to order one of those. Those things are pretty good.
Okay.
It's like a Wi-Fi extender.
Okay.
It's pretty good. They're like $60-$50.
Okay. Help speed the signal up, right?
Say again.
It's gonna help it because I'm in the basement.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, where is this thing at? Come on now, just sent it. Let me look at my phone one more again.
Okay.
Lock you. Okay. Okay. Now it finally went. Okay, this phone man. All right, give me a second. It's coming.
Go ahead.
All right, I got it.
All right.
All right, here we go. Play this thing. All right, and I'm gonna upload it. Oh man, shit.
You can't get it out. Don't worry about it. Good up.
Okay, there I go. I hit the wrong button. I hit that red button. I thought that was to share the screen. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
All right, here we go.
All right.
And this is it. This is what you wanted?
I can't see anything on my end. Huh?
I can't see anything. Okay. I put it up there. Okay, there we go.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of small, but these it's basically saying these habits that would change your life, and it's all about, like we saying, with self. You know, some of these things that you do in your life, like of course we say your eating habits will change your life. Your study habits will change your life. You know what I mean? Going over these scriptures, the scriptures have the whole thing on how to eat, how to treat each other, how to talk to each other. You know what I mean? These things, these habits will change your life, but it all starts within self. You got to do these things within self. And that's the whole purpose of this. You know what I mean? This whole Bible is teaching not only us about who we are as a people, but it goes to yourself. And that's how I believe we start. We start with self. Okay, Ak, you can take the screen now.
Go on.
The water too, Ak.
Oh, you on the bar. Go on. And you want me to go to Matthew?
Con.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 37. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it.
Yeah, hold on, I'm doing something. I'm good. No. I'm sorry about that, Ak.
You good. Con. Just the book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 38. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, what think ye of Christ?
That's it. That's it. I just wanted that. My fault. The 40. My mistake. I'm sorry. I got through all. Where it says the second, unlike it, what thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. That starts, like I say, with self. If you want to treat yourself, you're not going to hurt yourself. So if you do that to yourself, you're not going to hurt your, if you ain't going to hurt yourself, you ain't going to hurt your brother. If you're not going to steal from yourself, you're not going to steal from your brother. That's what it says, man in the mirror. How you want to treat yourself is how you should treat your brother. You don't want to steal from yourself. You don't want to hurt yourself. So it all starts that man in the mirror, looking into self. This is how you treat yourself. It all starts with self. That's what it says. This is the first and great. The second is the greatest commandments hinge off these two. Of course, we know loving the Lord is the first one, but how you treat yourself is how you should treat your brother. And if we do these two commandments, the rest of the commandments and statutes are going to fall in line. They're going to fall in line. Let's go to Matthew 7 and start at 18 all the way to 20.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 20. Or ye shall know them. Chapter 7, verse 20.
Verse 18. Let's go 18 to 20.
Oh, Salakia. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verses 18 through 20. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Stop right there. Sometimes we know in the Bible
every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, my fault.
You want me to?
I'm gonna say something about 18.
Okay.
We know sometimes
Matthew, chapter 7, verse 19. Okay.
I ain't hear y'all. My fault. Okay, when we know sometimes when the Bible says trees, it's talking about men. It says a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
You want me to read 18 again?
Yeah, con. Yeah, go ahead, Al.
You want me to read 18?
Yeah, con, go ahead.
Con, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 18. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Con, when we know a lot of times when it's describing trees, it's talking about men. A good tree, when you producing good fruit, you're not going to produce that evil fruit. When you're walking in righteousness, when you're doing these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're going to show that. It's going to come out. But what did he say also? A corrupt tree, an evil tree. What you going to produce? You're going to produce evil. Evil begots evil. So that's what it's saying. When a man is doing evil, he's going to begot evil. It all starts with self. Okay, I'll finish it out.
Con. Verse 19. Every tree that bringeth forth, Salakia, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them.
Con. And like we say, when they say the tree is talking about men sometimes, that tree not bringing good fruit, what does it say? It's going to be cut down. It's going to be cast into the fire. When that person ain't bringing forth good fruit, when you ain't doing good yourself in this truth, when you casting out evil, when you spreading rumors, when you doing lies, when you causing nothing but destruction, it's going to cast you to the fire. What does it say? It's going to shoot you down. That's the Most High going to cut you down. It's the same thing like if you got a weed in your yard. You ain't going to keep that weed in your yard, are you? You're going to cut it down. You're going to pull it out. You're going to throw it away. You may even burn it. It's the same thing he's saying about men. It's the same thing he's saying about self. When you yourself are not producing good fruit, there is no need for you. Starts with self. And what's the last part it said? Whereby their fruits shall they know them. What we said through scriptures before, by your works. Your works yourself, what you do. He's going to know you by your works, your fruit. That's why you got to look in that mirror on self. You got to clean self up. You don't clean self up, this whole thing is a waste. You know what I mean? It's like, remember sometimes when we was little and they had a disruptive person in the classroom, what would they do? They'll yank him out because he going to disrupt the whole classroom. But if somebody in there good, doing work, helping each other out, they're going to say, go to that person. He know how to do it. She know how to do it. I'm going to let you do this. It's the same thing with the Lord. When that person is producing, he's going to bless that person. But if that person doing evil, I have no need for you. This ain't what this is about. This truth ain't about disruption. This truth ain't about trying to tear it down. Because we close and nothing gonna tear this down. It's the same thing almost like in Noah. Remember when Noah was telling everybody the flood was coming, Noah didn't shut the door. The Lord shut the door. He shut the door on those other people. Noah told him was coming. Noah didn't shut that door. The Most High was like, you missed out on your chance. Let's go to, we're going to go to Mark 12 and start 20. And we're going to go all the way to 30.
To the book of Mark?
Kind.
Chapter 12?
Yep, chapter 12. And start at 20. Hold on. Let me. Is that what? Let me see. Was it 28 that I wanted? Yeah, 28. My fault. Yeah, 28. My fault. 28 to 33.
Okay. Come. And Salakia, when he's representing the when he's saying that the men are trees, you can find that in Ezekiel chapter 31, guys. So read the book of Ezekiel chapter 31, because the Bible is metaphors and parables and stuff like that. So when he's saying that sometimes trees represents men, that's scriptural. When you get into the book of Genesis and all that. So for you newbies and some of you Christians that's listening, go to Ezekiel chapter 31. I yield.
God, you could you out for the Christians.
Yeah, they be on here spying, trying to cut us with our own stuff. Like, man, sit down. But yeah, they getting this. You should have heard this debate with the guy, Captain Terrariak. I think it's Terrariak from IHBK. He was debating these Christians on Trinitarian.
I seen that. When they talking about the Trinity. God, I seen that.
Yeah, they saying it's. I'm like, Christians, stop. They doing too much. So now we're all saying the same thing, but it's just that little bit that we're not saying. Like, anyway. So Ezekiel chapter 31, guys, so you can get the some understanding how not everything is literal. Okay.
Con.
All right. So this is the book of Mark, chapters 12, verses 28 through 30 or 31.
31. This is the same
Con.
thing we basically saying.
Okay. So this is the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 28 through 30. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all? And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Con, stop right there. I hate to cut you off, but what did you just say about the Christians and the Trinity? And 29 says there's one God. How they say you can't make this up, huh?
God, they'll find some way to, they will find some way to argue it. We're not going to make this a gender thing, but there's a gender out there that cannot take accountability. God. I ain't gonna say which one, but we all know who it is. You know what I'm saying? That's Christianity right there.
God, that came right on time. Mark, my fault. Go ahead, finish up.
God, I can't make this up. Verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. Verse 31. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these.
God. And I wanted to bring that out again because why does the Lord have to repeat things to us? One, he's showing you the importance of it. And like I always say, you know he's talking to us because with us, you got to repeat things over and over and over again for us to get it. Sometimes we just don't get it the first time. He has to constantly say things to us. That's how you know this book is for us. But it's saying, with all thy soul and thy mind. Once again, it's telling you to look into yourself. Look into that mirror. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Starting with self. This whole thing is about self. Self-correction. Self-right. It's about self. I can't say it enough. It's inside out. When you change that inside, it's going to flourish on the outside. That's just how this whole thing works, man. We got to start looking into ourselves. And this whole correction thing, it'll be much easier. Correction is much easier when it comes to yourself. It's easier to take in correction. It's even to put correction out. But it got to start with you. Imagine if you can't take correction. Oh, they can't tell me what to do. I know what to do. That's that self-pride. I don't need to listen to somebody. See, that self can work in reverse too. We got to start looking at yourself. That's what this verse thing starts. This whole thing is about. Let's go to John, the book of John, chapter 15. Let's go to 12 and 13.
John 15.
Con.
12. You said 12 and 13?
Con.
$12 through 15.
No, just go to 12 to 13, and then we're going to jump to 17.
Okay. Gotcha. This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Verse 15. You said 15, right? 12 and 15?
Go 12 and 13, then go to 17. No, you good.
This is the book of John, chapter 12, verses. This book of John, chapter 15, verses 12 through 13 and 17. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Con. Once again, it's talking about self. It says, love one another. I have loved you. Self. How does love initially start? You got to love yourself. And it says there's no greater than a man. You willing willing to put your life on the line for your brother. That all starts in self. That's no selfishness in you. That's looking in the mirror. That you willing to give your life for your brother. That's true inside. You willing to do anything for your brother. That's true love. That right there is you looking on the inside saying, you know what I mean? I'm willing to do everything to protect my brother, even if it means losing my life. That's that inside looking in the mirror. Believe me, you can't be selfish to do that. You can't be selfish to think like that. Let's jump to 17 now.
John, the book of John, chapter 15, verse 17. These things I command you, that ye love one another.
And that you got to have that on the inside. You got to have that when we in this truth. A lot of times we didn't grow up with each other. We didn't work with each other. We didn't go to school with each other. We coming together over this book. This book got us thinking like this. This Bible changed our mindset. How's that? What's that movie? I can't think of when they playing the music. What they say? One body, one sound. That's how we rule. When we in this book, when we at the camp, we work as one. We don't walk as individuals. That's how you got to take that look in the mirror. When you come in this truth, you are let me say it and try not to say, yeah, you are an individual, but you moving collectively as one. And that's love. That's looking at yourself in the mirror. That's changing that old man, becoming a new person. Let's go to Proverbs 24 and 16.
Huh. (24 16).
Con.
And Salakia, can I get a precept real quick?
Go ahead. What you want? I get it.
No, I got it. I got you.
Okay.
This is because the brother's touching on and I hope you guys are tracking what he's saying. It's very, very important. So he's saying that we need to follow these scriptures, we need to follow these laws, we need to love one another. We need to be mindful, stop being selfish, have self-discipline, and this is what I teach to my son, and have self-control. But this is where it starts. Train up. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So basically, raise your damn kids. This is what we're trying to tell y'all. Raise your kids. Stop leaving them at home with the homosexual choir director. Stop leaving them at home with the nanny that don't speak English. Stop leaving them at home with your brother who never had a job since he was 22. All right, now he's 50. All right, guys. So this is what we're saying, because this is a beautiful topic, because this sparks a thing of, okay, who's been raising these kids for the past 50 years? We have a lot of problems in Israel. All right, and a lot of it comes from the curses, but also train up a child in the way he should go. Some of these guys don't figure it out. How you figuring it out at 40? What did you do from 12 to 40? You know what I'm saying? So what he's spitting out, guys, I hope you guys are really understanding this. What he's in a nutshell, you have to give it to these young people. We can try to do what we need to do, but we got to get back these young people, because that's what matters, because they are the future. We the wisdom, but they are the future. And I yield.
Beautiful point. Beautiful point. Like you say, they the ones coming up. They the ones taking over. And if you teach them to be wild, what you expect. But if you teach them through these scriptures and these laws, they're gonna follow that right path. And the point you're making out, that's what the enemy don't want. That's the enemy's greatest fear. We get these kids in line, it's definitely over. It's definitely over. Why do you think they put all this poison in the music, all this stuff in the foods, all this stuff on TV? Why do you think they got them occupied with TikTok and all that? They trying to keep their minds. Just like I said earlier, the mind is like a field. You can plant poison in it, and it's going to be seed poison. But if you plant healthy fruit, it's going to plant healthy fruit. The same thing it was saying about the trees. It's the same thing. I yield. Go ahead, Op.
God, that's a beautiful point. Like, hey, man, it's a beautiful point. And you know, our people, what I tell you. But you know, we got to keep giving them this honey. Got to keep giving them this honey and milk, and eventually they're gonna get it. But guys, you gotta look after these kids. We gotta put more into these children and these young people. And young people, I'm talking about 25 and under, because their brain ain't developed till they're 25. So it is our responsibility, instead of dressing them with stylish clothes and all this other stuff. So like the subject is the man in the mirror, or the person in the mirror. So yeah, great topic tonight. You wanted the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 16? Con. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and rises up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
And by we saying it's saying 7 times, it doesn't mean you out of it. It doesn't mean that you can't correct yourself. Sometimes when you fall, that's the perfect time to look at yourself. Man, what did I do wrong where I won't do this again? But it says the wicked. Sometimes the wicked, and we see this all the time with people falling out of the truth for small, minute reasons. Oh, the council didn't go my way, so I'm leaving. That is not the way of life. I don't care who you are in life. It doesn't go your way all the time. It don't mean that, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes some judgments, some problems, they ain't gonna go all your way. So if you fall 7 times, you got to get back up. It's just like how they say when we ride a bike. How many times you fall on riding a bike? You didn't stop. You probably failed more than 7 times, but you got back on it. How many times a baby fall trying to walk? 40, 50 times, but it don't stop. See, when you get that stumble or that roadblock, that's a learning lesson right there. When you make a mistake, that is a learning lesson. You learn from that. That's why I say a just man falls 7 times, to let you know it's nothing wrong with being corrected. It's nothing wrong if you did something wrong and you coming back different the next time. But it starts with you, because we all fall. It's how you look at yourself. Like, you know what? I was 100% wrong. I'm gonna do the best of my abilities not to do that again. That's how we got to see things. You know, the problem with us is, and correction means bad to us. But just imagine, like I say, if you fell off that bike that first time, you're like, I ain't doing it no more. Or a baby failed and be like, I'm not gonna try to walk again. Mm-hmm. Those are the same thing. When you fall, that's telling you something you didn't do right. you come correct. So swimming, you can look at it in any aspect. You get a math problem wrong. Oh, I ain't doing no math no more. It's the same concept almost. It's the way we see things. And it all starts with self. What do they say sometimes? If you see something directly, step to the side and it looks totally different to you. Mm-hmm. We got to start looking at things different. We can't, what's that tunnel vision? We can't see it that way all the time. And that's part of this improvement. But that starts with self. Let's go to Sirach 15 and 20 up.
You said 16 and 20?
15 and 20.
15 and 20? Okay.
Con.
All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 16, verse 20. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha guys that we call Sirach, chapter 16, verse 20.
15 and 20.
Oh, Salakia, chapter 15, verse 20. He have commanded no man to do wickedly, neither have he given any man license to sin.
Con. That's what I say. When those things early be in your mind, the Most High didn't command no man to sin. That's all on you. He didn't give you no license to sin. That's all on you. That's you got to look into yourself. When you do things wickedly, oh, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go hurt this brother. That starts in your mind. That's that wickedness in you. That's that part of you got to look into yourself, that you got to correct yourself.
God.
I like when y'all went to, let's go to Sirach 16 and 20. I like that too.
God. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 16, verse 20. No heart can think upon these things worthily, and who is able to conceive his ways?
That's what we talking about, self again. No heart, the mind can think upon these things worthily. When you're trying to do evil, when you're doing things wrong against your brother, your people, that heart can't think things worthy. You can't be worthy of that when you're thinking these things. And what does it say at the end? Who is able to conceive his own ways? Conceive your own ways. Doing things incorrect. Doing things against your people. Doing things against your brother or your sister. A lot of times when our people do things bad to or harmful to each other, they don't want to see themselves in the mirror. Have you ever noticed sometimes a person can't really look at you or themselves sometimes? One of the hardest things to do is look at yourself in the mirror. Why you think they got self-improvement courses? It's hard to correct yourself. Those are some of the hardest things to do out here. Self-correction is hard. And it can be the minute ways, like I say, correcting the way you eat, correcting your health, correcting your lifestyle. Those things are hard, but they are achievable. But it starts with you. Starts with you. Let's go to those next videos. Let's get those next videos out the way.
Okay. Can I get a precept in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Con. Yeah, what the brother's saying is it's dead on, guys. You know, like we bring out every week. You know, each class, everybody has a different flavor, but it's all coming from the same store. So this is the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived. Salakia. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So again, it's the same. And this is one of the reasons why they took the Apocrypha out of there. They had a lot of gems in there. So here we go. These books in the New Testament, Paul and Yahweh, well, we say Jesus because we don't know Christians on here. Jesus and John and all those guys, they were Old Testament guys. You know how they got these Old Testament Israel. Those were Old Testament Israelites. Everything in these books is all quoted from what you see in the Apocrypha and in the Old Testament. Okay. So again, Galatians 6, verse 9, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap. So what the brother's saying, you're going to reap, guys, until you faint, until death, or until you get judged. So you have to stop this being selfish. You have to stop ignoring. You got to stop running, especially you men. I don't know what's going on with you guys. I don't know, maybe it's the skinny jeans or whatever, but guys, you got to stop doing all this stuff. You got to man up. You got to get out of your feelings. We don't wear our feelings on our sleeves. That's not what we do. You know what I'm saying? So we are men. And so at the end of the day, you're going to reap what you sow. Just because your boy, y'all used to sell drugs together, you did football numbers, that dude never did nothing. But you don't know what he suffered. The 30 years he was in, he got on that stuff. You know, he lost his kids. His daughter was murdered. Like, all sorts of stuff happened. Because those guys doing football numbers, you know, that's just getting out. We see them. Some of them are brothers. Because everybody's starting to get out right now. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they are starting to, about what, the past 10 years?
Yeah, kind of 10 to 5.
Yeah, about 10 to 5 years. So they all coming home right now. And you think you got away, but you didn't. You got to look at what you did from 16 to 49. What you did from 12 to 55 while he was up there doing football numbers. You wasn't doing no better. So again, you're going to reap what you sow, but we got to stop with this selfishness. We got to stop with this self-hate. You know what I'm saying? We got to start, understanding these scriptures are not Christianity that was just put on us. So when we out here and we come to these classes and we're teaching on Thursday, we're teaching on Saturday and stuff like that, don't fight us. Just understand it and let these brothers break this down the way we do. And then come on the call, ask questions. Perfect
point. And that's what you're saying. Ask questions. Come and that takes a lot of self to be like, I didn't get this book correctly. And what does he say? We all got to start off on the milk. There's no shame in that. It is no shame in starting with the milk. You're going to improve. It takes time. But go ahead with those videos out. I don't know if you're going to do them or Anapar going to do them, however.
Okay. He might be able to do them. I sent me one of them. Let's see if he wants to. I'm going to send me another one. Okay. All right.
Self-esteem. Listen carefully, because if you apply these, your relationship with yourself will change forever. 1. Don't speak to yourself like an enemy. Your inner voice must be your refuge, never your punishment. 2. Stop comparing yourself. Carl Jung warned, comparison is the thief of joy. Measure only against who you were yesterday. 3. Set boundaries. Not because you lack love, but because you have dignity. Self-respect starts the moment you learn to say enough. 4. Keep promises to yourself. Every commitment you honor in private becomes unshakable confidence in public. And here comes the most important part. When you choose yourself first, the world eventually mirrors the respect you show within. Drop worthy if you made it to the end. It proves you keep your word to the most important person, yourself. 4 keys to strengthening your...
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, I think it was one more after that, I believe. That was short. Just some of the things that they were saying. I know, of course, some of it is not following scripture, but it's some of the things to help improve yourself.
Yeah,
like the second one that says, don't self-bash yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. That's some of the things we have. We like to see, like you say, we like to see what other people have or doing, and then we put that on ourselves. You know, it's a saying they have, You only in competition with yourself. You're not in competition with nobody else.
Right. What they say, keeping up with the Joneses.
And that's our problem as a people. We always want to be like other people. That is one of our downfalls.
Yeah, I think the and that's what I put that on Facebook today.
It has nothing to do with your or your connection. It's a thin line between men who rise to destiny and men. What if I told you that the difference between a life of victory and a life of destruction has nothing to do with your gifts, your IQ, or your connections? What if the thin line between men who rise into destiny and men who collapse into regret isn't talent or opportunity at all, but self-control? You can be the most anointed, the most ambitious, the most talented, and even the most prayed up. But if you lack self-control, everything can collapse in one decision, one compromise, one moment of weakness. Proverbs 25:28 says, "A person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls." In biblical times, a city without walls was a city exposed, vulnerable, and already defeated before an enemy even lifted a sword. That's what a lack of self-control does. It leaves you wide open for destruction. Self-control is not a suggestion. It's not an accessory. It's the fortress of your soul. Without it, your appetites master you. Without it, lust consumes you. Without it, gluttony ruins you. Without it, greed manipulates you. Without it, the enemy doesn't even have to fight. He just walks in and takes over. And yet the Bible tells us in Galatians 5:23, but the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against these things. Notice that self-control is not a product of human willpower alone. It is a fruit of the Spirit, which means God has already placed within you the supernatural capacity to master your flesh, silence your cravings, resist temptation, and walk in victory. Today, we're going deep. While we desperately need self-control, what the Bible teaches, how it ties to discipline, why sins like gluttony are so destructive, and most importantly, how you can practically build a life that is locked in, spiritually, physically, mentally, and financially, through the Spirit's gift of self-control. This isn't just a teaching. This is war, because the battlefield of your life will be won or lost, level your self-control. Now let's talk about self-control as a fruit of the Spirit. Paul's letter to the Galatians makes it clear. Self-control is not just willpower, it is spirit power. Once again, Galatians 5:22 and 23 says, but the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against these things. The world preaches self-help. The Bible preaches spirit help. True self-control doesn't come from sheer grit. It comes from surrender. It's birthed when the Spirit is alive in you. Grace trains us. Titus chapter 2, verses 11 and 12 says, for the grace of God has been revealed, bringing salvation to all people, and we are instructed to turn from godless living and sinful pleasures. We should live in this evil world with wisdom, righteousness, and devotion to God. Grace doesn't just forgive us, it trains us. Grace empowers us to say no. Grace teaches us self-control. Without grace, discipline becomes religion. With grace, discipline becomes transformation. Self-control is greater than conquest. Proverbs 16:32 says, better to be patient than powerful, better to have self-control than to conquer a city. The world crowns the conqueror. God crowns the man who conquers himself. Self-control is a greater achievement than military victory because it is the foundation of every victory. So, why do we need self-control? Well, number one, because sin is always crouching. Genesis 4 and 7 says, "You will be accepted if you do what is right, but if you refuse to do what is right, then watch out. Sin is crouching at the door, eager to control you, but you must subdue it and be his master. Sin doesn't sleep. Patience doesn't take a day off. I'm sure y'all know that. If you are not actively mastering your flesh is actively mastering you."
Con. Think that is it one more? Think that may have been the last one.
Mastering you. Number two, because lack of self-control leads to ruin. Self-control is not about legalism, it's about survival. Without it, you destroy yourself. Proverbs 25 and 28 already told us no walls, no defense. Number three, because discipline determines destiny. Hebrews 12 and 11 says, "No discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It's painful, but afterward, there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way." Discipline is painful in the moment, but life-giving in the harvest. A lack of discipline feels good in the moment, but life-destroying in the harvest. Number four, because the enemy exploits weakness. The devil doesn't need to outmuscle you. He only needs to expose control. Think of Samson, gifted for strength, anointed from birth, destroyed because of uncontrolled lust. Judges 16, verses 20 and 21. Then she cried out, "Samson, the Philistines have come to capture you." When he woke up, he thought, "I will do as before and shake myself free." But he didn't realize the Lord had left him. So the Philistines captured him and gouged out his eyes. They took him to Gaza, where he was bound with bronze chains and forced to grind grain. His downfall wasn't weakness of body, but weakness of self-control. A lot of us as men struggle with the same lack of self-control that Samson had. It's time to wake up. Now, the elephant in the room. We got to talk about gluttony. Gluttony is overindulgence, letting appetite become your master. It's not simply about eating too much once in a while. It's about a lifestyle of indulgence. Philippians 3 and 19 says, "They are headed for destruction. Their God is their appetite. They brag about shameful things, and they think only about this life here on earth. When your stomach becomes your God, destruction is your destiny." The damaging consequences of gluttony. Physical consequences include obesity, diabetes, hypertension, fatigue, and premature death. Mental consequences are sluggishness, brain fog, depression, anxiety. Spiritually, your appetite becomes your idol and you lose sensitivity to the spirit. Proverbs 23, verses 20 and 21 says, "Do not carouse with drunkards or feast with gluttons, for they are on their way to poverty, and too much sleep clothes them in rags." Gluttony leads to poverty, financial, physical, and spiritual. And we also got to look at the fact that gluttony is not just tied to eating. It's tied to over scrolling, over bad content, over consuming things that are not helpful to your life and to your spirit, to your eyes, things that are feeding your flesh more than your inner man. So let's talk about some practical strategies so we can build our self-control. Number one, submit to the spirit daily. Romans 8 and 5 says, "Those who are dominated by the sinful nature think about sinful things. But those who are controlled by the Holy Spirit think about things that please the Spirit." You can't just win a battle of the flesh in the flesh. You need the Spirit. So you have to do things on a daily basis. You have to be reading your word on a daily basis, okay? Number two, fasting and praying. Fasting trains your flesh to submit. Matthew 6 and 16 says, "And when you fast, don't make it obvious as the hypocrites do." Fasting is not starvation. It is spirit elevation. Number three, build physical discipline. 1 Corinthians 9 and 27 says, "I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified." Paul understood that if his body ran his spirit, his calling would be destroyed. Number four, avoid triggers and set boundaries. Proverbs 4 and 23 says, "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life." Guarding means building boundaries. You don't stumble into holiness, you structure it. Whatever in your life is triggering you to do the wrong thing, you must find a way to block it out your life as much as possible. You cannot count on willpower alone. Do yourself a favor. Number 5, replace bad habits with holy habits. Ephesians 4:22-24 says, throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on new nature created to be like God, truly righteous and holy. So don't just stop doing wrong, start doing more of what's right. Self-control is the inner engine. Discipline is the outer system. One without the other fails. Together, they make you unstoppable. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7 says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline. Discipline is the proof of the Spirit's power at work in you. So, what are some of the rewards of self-control? Well, we get freedom from bondage. Romans 6:12 says, do not let sin control the way you live. Do not give in to sinful desires. Health and longevity. Proverbs 3, verses 7 and 8 says, don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Then you will have healing for your body and strength for your bones. Then spiritual power. James 4:7 says, so humble yourselves before God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Then financial stability. Proverbs 21:20 says, the wise have wealth and luxury, but fools spend whatever they get. It's pretty simple. Self-control is the firewall of your faith, the guardian of your destiny, and the foundation of your discipline. Without it, every gift becomes corrupted. With it, every area of your life can prosper. The question is not whether temptation will come. The question is whether you will stand or fall. The Holy Spirit within you has already given you the power to master your flesh, silence your cravings, resist the enemy, and walk in freedom. The choice is yours. Will you be a man with broken down walls or a man fortified by self-control? Galatians 5:23 declares that the Spirit produces self-control in you. It is already within your reach. All that's left is for you to walk in it. Don't forget, y'all, we locked in. It's due season. It's your boy Carl Anthony. Let's try to exercise some self-control for the remainder of this year. All right, peace.
Con. You went over a lot of good things about self-control, you know. A lot of good things about self, but like we were saying this whole class, it's about you looking at yourself in the mirror. All those things you were saying were good things about self-control. One thing I want to say, like he was saying, what's the saying they got? It's a moment of pleasure can cause you a lifetime of pain. A moment of losing your self-control can cost you everything. So sometimes you do have to look inside yourself when it comes to that self-control. Because like I say, just losing your temper just that quick, you can lose everything you got. You can lose your life, like you're saying, like the brother was saying. So let's go to Sirach 3:21.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength.
Said, don't seek out, the things that are too hard, but search the things that are above thy strength. A lot of things gonna seem hard until you do it. Everything seems hard until you do it, but you got to pull that stuff up out of you. Coming in this truth seems to be hard, but when you're in it, it's not. Giving up pork seems to be hard, but it ain't. They got alternatives. It's all about you looking at yourself. Of course, I'm gonna say this, and people gonna say it's giving up cigarettes can seem hard, but there have been brothers who then got off smoking cigarettes. All those things, that what the video was talking about, gluttony, all those things seem hard, but you can get off them. It's that inner strength that you got, the strength of these scriptures, the strength of the brotherhood. All these things can be done, but it starts with self. Everything we talking about, correcting your kids, correcting yourself, your lifestyle starts with you. Now, don't get me wrong, the brotherhood, the camps, we here to help. But if you don't want it itself, it does not really matter. If we helping it, if you don't want it, it's like pouring water into a glass with a hole in it. Hard to plug. Let's go to Romans 12:2.
So like I got a not a precept. I wanted to land me back on what you said.
Go ahead.
That's a very great point, because I think what people are not realizing is that that it's I'm having a brain fart. I had it right when you were saying it. What I wanted to say.
You good? Yeah, I told you. You know, you be feel free.
Yeah, kind. It's oh man, what was that last? I'm trying to think at one point, because you said something that was very valuable, because the self-control and the selfishness. But let me just read this scripture. I'll come back to it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What is it? Romans 12 and what?
12:2.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good, that acceptable and perfect will of God.
And of course, we know we're gonna have a lot of destructions or problems or things this world can try to coax us into doing. But what does it say? Renewing of your mind, the changing of your thoughts. I like what the brother just said, how brothers were doing things illegally. You know, a lot of people in our community wanted to go that way. But the renewing of your mind, like you say, brothers are getting out now, 20, 30 years. You know, it may not seem like nothing on the tail end, but when you're looking up doing 30 years, that's some time you can't get back. And a lot of those brothers will tell you, I wish I did another route. You know what I mean? Because time is the one thing you can't, I don't care how much money you got in the world, you can't get 30 years back.
Can't get it.
You don't know what you missed in them 30 years. And I'm going to tell you for a factual, my cousin, he had missed his mother's funeral being in there. You miss your kids growing up. Just imagine you leave your kid, they 8 years old, 30 years, they 38. You miss all those times, pushing them at the swing, running with them. You can't get that back. That's gone forever. That's what I say, renewing of your mind. The world has a lot to offer you. What did Satan offer to Yahushua? He told him, I can give you the world. He said, no, the man can live by bread alone, but that's the same thing. The world has a lot to offer. The world is a wicked place. A lot of us then came in this truth by renewing our mind. We used to think one way, but reading these scriptures, we think in the righteous way now. Matter of fact, let me read. We think in the way of the Lord, and that is perfect, like it said. When you think the way of the Lord, you think you're perfect. There is no better way. All right, Doc, let's go to you got what you want to say, Doc? Or?
Oh yeah, I figured it out. So because what the brother said, you said another very important thing also. But I'm gonna go back to what I was saying when you was talking about gluttony. And this is one of the things that our people have an issue with. And this is why these food prices is going up. You guys gotta understand, the Most High, he moves in mysterious ways. This is why the rent is $2,500 for a studio, because he's like, look, women, hey, you guys need a roommate. Y'all women are trying it with other women. it ain't working. Because other women ain't really trying to pay it like that because y'all not built that way. Same thing with these grocery stores, the gluttony. Everybody's, you can be overweight and kind of in shape, or you can be overweight and not in shape. You can be skinny and have high blood pressure and diabetes. It doesn't matter. There's some people that's overweight that don't have diabetes or high blood pressure, right? It is what it is. But what we're saying is the Most High is he's staring everybody back until how it's supposed to be. And so that's what I wanted to touch on about the gluttony, about these freaking prices in the groceries don't make no sense. And then he made another point with the scripture we just read. You cannot be conformed to this world. So when Satan offered Jesus this, it's, to me, that's a double-edged sword, because that's the same thing when the so-called white man offer you certain things, like P. Diddy, he took of this world. R. Kelly, and I'm an R. Kelly fan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was done dirty, but he did some stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like all these entertainers did. All of them did it. Michael Jackson was living with Diana Ross since he was like 12. I don't even understand that. Then Justin Bieber, Usher was living with P. Diddy under 14. I don't get that. How do the parents do that? But this is the world that we live in because you conform. So what the brother's saying is, we're just talking about, I'm giving examples of stars, but some of us have done the same thing, and these weren't stars. So you can't conform to this world. You send your child to a boarding school. You send your child to Catholic school. He's talking about all of this stuff, So we have to zone in and figure this out. You guys can't just get on these classes and be like, oh, these brothers, I'm gonna tune it. No, research. Stop getting on the classes because the elder said, I want you in class, and then you mute the volume and you go in the strip club and you're getting lap dances and stuff. I wasn't a stripper, dude, so I can't even tell you about none of that. Like, I went there a couple times when I was in the world, but I've never liked that place. But some people eat there, some people dine there, some people, I mean, it's they join. It is what it is, right? I never understood the concept, but some people do. So with that being said, we talking to all y'all, and we all have our vices. We get it. Just like you talk about the cigarettes, and I'll zone it down. But he's talking about the cigarettes that was put on us, guys, because that's one of those things. They got pork and they got all sorts of stuff in them cigarettes. We used to get I served in the military for a while, and when I went to Iraq, we used to give the white boys, they used to give the Iraqis cigarettes from America. They used to spit that stuff out. They didn't want to smoke it. They was like, what is this? And then the guys used to smoke their cigarettes. It was cleaner. It's everything is different here. And that's what the brother's mostly talking about when he's talking about planting that poison in the land. That was very powerful what you said. Planting that poison in the land or planting that fruit. Here they plant that poison. They don't plant that good fruit. Okay, so I yield.
No, you good. I'm glad you said that because there's a point. It was I have to find it. You made a very good point. I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. They can have like some Doritos in America, but the Doritos overseas, they have totally different ingredients in there.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of the things that they put in our food over here, they don't allow in other countries. And like you said, that's why the diabetes, high blood pressure, I'm just going to stay on where I was at. The Doritos can have like 25 ingredients in them. But you go over to Italy, it may have 5 ingredients in them. The same Doritos now, but they don't have all those things in them. And we over here don't recognize that for some reason. And like you say, they're poisoning us. And I'm gonna use the Doritos. People that's really like my age in the 50s, I don't eat Doritos like that, but guess who do? 15, 16, 20-year-old.
Yep.
They eat those.
like we used to.
There you go. And it's a reason for that. They want you sick. That's what they want. But like we saying, you have to rechange your mind. You have to do other things. And of course, I'm not saying don't eat anything at all. I'm not saying that. But it has to be structured, some things. And believe me, eating clean is hard to get to the stuff. It's expensive. But it's you only get one body. You only get one.
You only get one body, God.
And trust me.
Salakia. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And one more point. Like he said, when you go over places, there's 5 ingredients in Doritos there and 25 here. I went to, was it Kansas or Oklahoma? I think it was Kansas I went to. No, Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, you cannot buy beer, of course, on Sunday, but the beer you buy on the economy of Oklahoma has like 2% alcohol in it. Most beers have 4.3 or 4.5% or something like that. So we would buy the beer on post because those are the beers that have more alcohol. But Oklahoma, the state, was like, no, because it's in the Bible Belt. So these states have the ability to follow this book. They really do. I mean, look at Utah. So these states have the ability to follow the book. Because America really, the government, and they really don't have that control once you guys start learning the history. So what the brother's saying is they're really doing this on purpose. There are states that don't allow certain ingredients and certain products. I can't think of them right now, but I just know about Oklahoma with the alcohol. So they have that ability to do that. But yet your government helping to do what they do. All right. So like the brother was saying, there's 5 ingredients in Doritos and there's certain chips like Tiki's and all. They don't even sell that over there. They don't sell certain things over there, So I don't want to go. I know that's a whole different topic, but this is very good class.
No, that's been helpful. Let's go to Ephesians 4 and 22. We can go all the way to 24.
Okay, this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on that new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness.
What we've been saying this whole time. Correction, the man in the mirror. About what you used to do in the past, leave that in the past. No more. Put away that old man. Look in that mirror. Get in these scriptures. Follow these commandments, laws, and statutes, and become that new man. That new man in the mirror that you want to be. The new man that the Most High created, it said. 24, one more time.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 24. And that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in the righteousness and true holiness.
It says which God created in righteousness and holiness. That's the man in the mirror you want to be. Not that old one. Even though it seemed like, you remembering them good times, better times is ahead. If you thought those times when you was doing wickedness was good, just imagine what the Most High has for you. It was tenfold that. But you got to be that righteousness and that holiness, which he created you to be. Like I was saying, he didn't create you to go to the strip bar. He ain't create you to shoot people. He ain't create you to be in the truck. He ain't create you for all that. I'm gonna be when you think about it, all that is beneath us. We come from greatness. Those things we used to do, and of course, we all was lost in some form. But those things, when you get in this truth, you be like, that was filth. That was beneath me. We kings and queens. We got to start conducting ourselves like that. It all starts with self. All starts with self. Let's go to Baruch chapter 4 and 28 to 29.
Said Baruch chapter 4.
28 to 29.
This is the book of Baruch chapter 4, verses 28 through 29. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
What it say? When we fall, when you go away from God, what the book tell us to do? One more time.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 28. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he that have brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation.
What was I just saying? All that stuff we was doing in the past, put that in the past. That's behind us. He say he shall bring you everlasting joy and salvation. What you did in the past, all that bad stuff, Most High said, once you follow me, I'm going to give you a clean slate. I got something 10 times, 20 times better than for you. But you got to put away that old man, like it says before. You got to correct yourself. You got to change that man or that woman in the mirror. He got something better for us. We got to know it. Like the brother said, America ain't going to show you that. America want to keep you in filth. America want to keep you sick. America going to show you a tad bit of something and think that's salvation. Think that is the ultimate what you got. Nah, God got something better for you than that. And that's what we got to start realizing in our mind. That's got to start making you think. I want that salvation. I want that kingdom. Got to start like that in your mind. That's how we got to think. Let's go to 2nd Esdras 16 and 75.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. You said 16, right?
Verse 75.
This is the book of Esdras, chapter 16, verse 75. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide.
And that's what we got to start realizing. The Most High is our guide. He guided us all to this truth. You think he guided you to this truth to not lead you the right way, to not give you something better? He put us on this path to give us something better. The Bible, the commandments, the statutes are that roadmap. He giving you the roadmap. You just got to find it. You just got to follow it. You just got to change your ways. I'm going to say this. I hope everybody was edified with this class. And I got one more scripture for people who saying, they can't tell us what to do. You can't tell me to change. You ain't changed yourself. Let's go to Galatians. This is my last one. Let's go to Galatians 4 and 16. And this is what I say there right here. Let's go to Galatians 4 and 16.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
We telling you all this thing out this book. We not your enemy. We telling you the truth. And this book is the truth. That's why we say we in the truth. Everything we read is what God wants you to do. It's up to you to follow it. That's all we say. Hopefully this class was edified. Hopefully everybody out there learned something, and maybe we'll start looking, and I'm even talking about myself, even looking at myself in the mirror, because this whole thing is about change, and nobody is above change, Israel. I'm including myself, and that's why I brought this class up. So hopefully everybody was edified and appreciated and got something for this class. Appreciate you reading for me too, Op.
Anytime, Op.
Con. Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Kwame Adras.
Come on, Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.